Kalani, you had the opportunity to be the first to go up and address the panel of the media of all 16 head coaches in the Big 12. So how did you set the tone for the remainder of the day being the first guy up there after Brett Yormark?
I didn't even know I was going to be the first. So at least there's nothing to compare it to. So, I didn't think I could make any mistakes. It was easy. Anytime I get to talk about BYU and talk about football, I think I'm in my element, so I feel comfortable doing it.
This is your third Big 12 media days, and so you and I were talking a few minutes ago about this being a little more comfortable situation for you. What was the message in that comfortable state that you wanted people to know about BYU this year?
Well, I think just focus on our mission as our team. I think there's different ways that you can create the narrative by answering the questions that they ask, and I'll get a good feel for what's happening. I mean, it's a little different this year because there's not a preseason poll or rankings or anything like that, and I think it's just to settle it on the field and see how things go. But I think there's so much parity in this league that you can't really take away from any of them. I mean, you look at the amazing head coaches that are here and the talent that's in this conference, and so it's going to require us to be that much better. And hopefully we've been able to get that done. We're going to take advantage of all the time we have in fall camp to make sure that we're ready to roll.
No preseason poll, as you pointed out. Brett Yormark said he believes that it hurt teams like Arizona State last year when they got to the end of the season, and a team like BYU was picked 13th. How do you assess the whole no preseason poll scenario when it comes to how teams are viewed on the national landscape?
I think it's hard for people to kind of gauge what's happening on a roster with the transfer portal and so much. The attrition's different now than it was before. There's a lot of rosters being flipped, things like that. So a team can go from middle or bottom to the top right away. And in this conference, everybody's so good that it's really, when you factor in things like health and depth, that stuff's going to matter more than anything. So that's why we took the initiative and hired the right people to run our off-season conditioning and then try to get as much depth as we could. 3 years ago compared to now, you kind of see that we've developed from within, but we also need to upgrade and bring more competition from the outside, which I think we've been able to do as a coaching staff altogether.
With that talent in place, obviously you need it in a conference with so much parity, and Commissioner Yormark also said, I believe that we are the deepest college football conference in the entire country because things are just so close. You're splitting hairs. So how do you gear up for a conference like that once again this year?
Well, you have to be at your best. I mean, that's my job as a head coach. I don't know if I did a good enough job of that last year. I think we were able to win some close ones, but I think that's how it's going to be a lot of the time. But I need to make sure that we're playing at our best all the time and do that. If we can do that 12 times, and that's my job to get us ready to do that. I felt like we've made some really cool steps along the way, but still a lot of work to do. I mean, I think we're going to need all the time that we have to prep for this, and I'm looking forward to what happens when we get to the first game.
Understandably, there are big question marks about the quarterback's room, and you have doubled down on the confidence you have in the three guys that are there to potentially take the starter job. After Jake Retzloff, we believe at some point will announce his future plans. So what is allowing you to remain calm in a situation where it kind of feels like everybody outside is freaking out a little bit?
Well, I think that we've been able to keep our coaching staff intact. That's number one. Number two, we've been through quarterback battles before. Just last year, it was between Gary Bohannon and Jake Retzloff. It just happened to be another year right away that we had to go through quarterback battles. A-Rod and his coaching staff, Fessy, they've been through QB battles before. Zach Wilson and Jaron Hall and Jake Retzloff. So it's not something that we haven't done before. So I feel, and we're a lot older now, so we've learned some things along the way. We're still learning, but I think we're in a better position because of the experience that we've had before.
The term game manager, for whatever reason, sometimes carries a negative connotation with it, but I was just talking with Brock Osweiler of ESPN, and he said he feels like that's exactly what BYU needs because you have so many weapons on the offensive side of the ball. How do you feel about finding a game manager at quarterback and someone who could put the ball in those dynamic weapons on offense?
Well, I think you want your quarterback to help, never hurt you. But I don't know if you can really ask him to be aggressive and then be careful at the same time. So I think there's some value to allowing them to take some risks, but making sure that they're taking the most calculated ones, and that's I don't think it takes a lot of experience for that. I think it just takes what you feel comfortable making throws and making plays. And we have to be able to put in as much time with the reps to get whoever it is that's going to take the first rep in the first game, make sure that he's ready to go. I have a lot of confidence in all their ability. We just have to do our part as a coaching staff, get them ready.
What has you most confident in the entire team that you're going to coach in 2025?
What do I have?
The most confidence in, yeah.
I mean, I like the leadership in the program, and I like the culture, and I think those are things that I think a lot of people say, but I feel really good about the love that our players have for each other and what they get to represent here at BYU. It's created, I mean, there's a lot of momentum going on with this program and the department and the school altogether. A lot of that had to do with us being in the Big 12 and being a little bit more, more used to it. I mean, going on our third year now, so I feel like we've kind of always been here, but I think we can feel really comfortable knowing that we're in a good partnership with some really cool schools. They're all great schools and great coaches, and it's an honor more than anything for us to be here. But in order for us to be here, we got to make sure that we're ready to play too.
What's the chip on the shoulder narrative that you can maybe tie yourself to this year? Because there's no BYU is picked to finish 13th this year. So what's that mental approach like this year? How do you formulate that?
Well, we never formulated it last year. When people said that we were going to be 13th, that might have been a motivation for others, but that can only go so far. I think for us is to be at our best and play at our best so we can live with the result. I like the momentum that we created going to the bowl game and going to spring ball and where we're at right now with off-season conditioning program. So I just feel like I don't think we need to manufacture anything. I think more than anything, it's not about us proving other people wrong. It's about us proving ourselves right. We have a lot to prove still. So that's our mindset is always going to be on staying humble and making sure that we stay hungry.
You are very outspoken about the confidence you have in Jay Hill and your defense, and hard not to be when you look at everything you bring back, including two linebackers that are down here with you, and Isaiah Glasker and Jack Kelly. But on that side of the ball specifically, what are your expectations for the BYU defense in 2025?
Well, there's a lot of room for improvement. They know it. I think a lot of people have praised them and patted them on the back. They got to live up to it, and then they also have to get better. So a lot of them have been in the scheme longer. I mean, I think they understand. They think the way Jay Hill thinks, which is the way I think. So there's not a lot of and the connection that we have with each other, even between the staff of offense, defense, and special teams. I feel like there's a really good connection, and we were able to retain all our coaches. So there's not a lot of new learning. It's just getting used to what we're doing now, and then trying to find ways to make that an advantage for us. And I think there's a lot of things that in year one, Jay would have to say things. Now he doesn't have to say it. Tanner Wall and Raider DeMooney and others are already speaking for him. So that means the leadership is taking form and everything's getting really, really, really comfortable. And I'm looking forward to this next year.
Naturally, there's always some uncertainty as you begin a new season. You've talked about the things that you're really confident in and doubled down on those. What's your biggest question mark surrounding this team in 2025?
Well, I think it's not really a question mark. I can't wait to see what the identity is going to be. So I think you can't state it. You just have to kind of go through it and work through it. I feel really confident in our leaders and our connection, our culture with our program. That's focused on the players. I can't wait to see it form during camp and what happens when we go week one. So that's pretty much all I can say. I don't know if there's a lot of questions other than, what outfit I'm going to wear and things like that. But, when it's all said and done, we're going to have a lot of fun. We definitely love representing what we represent as far as the church and our school. And so there's a lot of pride there, and we want to embrace and exceed all the expectations our fans have for us.
Because you bring it up, how much planning goes into your week-by-week outfits for those games, Coach?
Well, I'd probably spend less time on that, but nothing here happens by coincidence. It's all planned out, and I'm the guy that I have to see at least what it looks like in the mirror. So, I need all the help I can get. So, but it's everything that we do. We're trying to be more intentional, more deliberate with our messaging, and trying to make sure that we include it with what we're learning from church and our lessons. I mean, we're trying to find ways to be better as people. I've learned quite a bit as a head coach. I'm going in my 10th year now, so I'm an old man, and I don't mind being old, but I can tell you one thing, I'm much better now than I was before 10 years ago when you met me as a head coach, and that's because I've learned quite a bit, and I'm open to still learning and trying to get better.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was just going to bring up a decade. Where do you feel like you've changed the most as a head coach and as a human being?
Well, other than getting older, I can say that I've enjoyed the path, and I've enjoyed being here in this position because of all the things that our players and the people around BYU have taught me, from the fans. I mean, I love my interactions with them, and people keep asking me, like, does this bother you when you get to see the fans and all that? I don't know how to say that it's actually what I live for, so.
Yeah. Kalani Sitake, true to himself. We'll finish with this. Couple of quick hitters. In an ideal scenario, when would you have a starting quarterback in place if you could put the chips where you want them?
By the first game, for sure. You can count on that.
Okay.
We have all the time, but we'd like to get it done as soon as possible. But I think we have to do our due diligence, which is give an opportunity for everybody to compete, and we'll be ready. We have great candidates that can do it, and I feel a lot of confidence in them and their coaching. So let's go have some fun with this and see what happens in 2025.
Okay, and secondly, what do you have to accomplish outside of football during the off season? Again, this could be a vacation, this could be fantastic. What are you hoping to get in before you get back into the grind?
Well, me personally, and for our coaches, we're on vacation right now, so I just want them to have time with their family and just enjoy what they get to do, and just have some level of appreciation for the people that sacrifice a lot for us to be here. So we're getting that done. I have a daughter getting married, so I'm an old man. I got a 2-year-old that's going to turn 3. So just being a dad, that's what I love doing. That I can spend most of my time focusing on that, and the players are doing their PRPs and their conditioning, and they're going to be ready. They look great, and I'm excited, man. I'm honored to be able to coach those guys and be around such an amazing program and with the best fans in the world.
Good luck with the wedding. Good luck with the rest of the offseason, and certainly good luck as the 2025 season gets underway here in 53 days.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go. Go Cougs.